Thank you for joining us. I am Chris Rice, aka Rice Crypto, and my partner in crime is Phil Massey, the Modern Guru, and this is another episode of the ReVolution broadcast. What's going on, homeboy?
What's up, man? Just it's been a long week and a half. Been doing a lot of work, so kind of tired. But we can't miss this show. We can't, you
Yeah,
know.
no, I feel you, man. It's definitely trying to work out our schedules between like your busy job and what's going on with school and my unexpected move coming up and being sick. It's definitely hard to coordinate, but like you said, we got to do this, so making the time. So
Absolutely, man, and it's fun. So I like doing it, but I'm a little tired, so I don't have a ton of energy tonight, everybody. But I'm gonna try to press on.
before we start, man, I just want to let everybody know if you're watching this on either one of our channels, we both have our own YouTube channel, and we came together to do this ReVolution broadcast. So we definitely ask that you like and subscribe to both of our pages, and please share this information with your friends and family because we try to provide some valuable content. And the more people that we can have view our content, the more people we can reach out and help. So we would appreciate that very much.
Amen, brother.
I was telling you, I just got off the phone before we started with this guy, Morgan Raccoons, aka Metabolome. And this guy in early February, it was like either the 6th or 9th, had gotten arrested for apparently selling Bitcoin to an undercover cop. And they're charging him with like money laundering in addition to operating without a license and other charges. And it seems like it's completely against his rights. And this is like BS, to be honest with you. And me and you have talked about it a little bit. How much do you know about the situation?
I read a couple articles. When I did my searches for it, there really wasn't a whole lot of. It was kind of weird. There was really not a whole lot of information out there about it. But
Right.
articles I did find, I read into it, I looked into it, and the government's assertions in this case, for the most part, I mean, driving without a license, that's kind of a slam dunk. But I mean, like the fact that they're trying to accuse him and arrested him because they think he thought he knew that it was being used for drugs or something like that. I
That's
mean,
part of it. Yeah.
if my take on this whole thing is I just started laughing when I read that because every single $20 bill, $10 bill, $100 bill in the United States has traces of cocaine on it. They've done studies on this. So
Yeah.
like in theory, the government can arrest anyone at any time if they have cash on them. Because
Yeah.
we
I mean,
knew it's been used in the past for drugs. So like basically you arrest anybody. It's just
you know,
it's so
it's crazy to also think about too. Like the guy was like put in a really bad situation because when he was arrested, they took his phone and property. So even when he got bonded out, he didn't have his phone, and all of his cryptocurrency, whether it was on exchanges or whatever, had the Google 2FA authenticator on there. And without his phone, he wasn't able to access his funds. So he was like kind of stuck, not sure how he's going to pay for his attorneys. And I had saw a video on Tone Vay's YouTube. He went live and was talking to Morgan, and apparently, from what Morgan said, he's been able to raise up the funds to be able to get his attorney situation straight. He's hoping he can just get the stuff thrown out of court. He's apparently got an incredibly awesome attorney, and I know his arraignment is going to be next Tuesday, which I think is the 6th.
Mhm.
So next, it's a week from today that he's going to have his arraignment, and we'll know a little bit more from there. But he agreed to do an interview with me. I can't go into too much about the case right now, but he did say that we could do a follow-up afterwards where he plans on divulging everything he can't go into, because apparently there's a lot more to this situation than you and I know, anyone else knows, or that's being reported in the media.
Yeah,
So,
well, get his story out to as many people as you can. I feel bad for him, based on what I read on the case. So, like we had talked about prior to going live here, I think the feds had a hard on for him. There's got to be something
it's
that's
possible. But either way, we as a community need to look out after each other. And I think it's important to bring awareness to the situation because I don't think that he was in the wrong if based off the information I've been given. And I think that we just definitely need to come together because if this was to come about in a negative fashion for him in the end, it could have some kind of effect on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency when they're bringing in regulation. So we've got to definitely
be arrested for using it because in theory it could be used for drugs, I guess.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And speaking about like almost like weird corruption, I mean, this isn't necessarily corruption, but Poloniex is being bought by a company called Circle for $400 million. And Circle is either owned or funded or something to do with Goldman Sachs.
I think they're funded.
And in addition to that, they're going to be allowing people to connect up their banking accounts so they could buy cryptocurrency directly. So I think that's going to give an opportunity for a lot of big investors and people who hadn't thought about getting involved in cryptocurrency with a company like Goldman Sachs backed company like Circle buying an exchange. I think we'll see this happen more frequently by banks and investment companies. I don't know. What do you think about this whole situation going full circle with Circle buying Poloniex?
Well, I think that these guys know what the future is, and they're getting more and more involved. And what they're trying to do, like anybody does, is they're trying to carve out their own niches, if you will, in the different arenas where they see themselves making a ton of money and not becoming irrelevant once the transfer occurs from the old system to the new system. So Goldman Sachs, Jamie Dimon, any of these UBS, all these banks that are now getting involved in the cryptos in one way or shape or form, I suspected this was going to happen. So this doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was an article that you had tagged me and told me to read where it was Bank of America had come out saying basically that cryptocurrency does not have any competition. So I kind of read into that as the banks know that the end of banking as we know it is coming to an end. And Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are going to take us into a new era of banking. And if they're going to survive, they need to get on board and they need to be a part of this. So
well, you're seeing governments embracing it now. Is the U.S. that kind of first officially, I guess you could say, embraced it out in public?
No, Japan. I think Japan was like.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, with after China closed down exchanges, Japan went, full head.
I don't think they do sales taxes if you use Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is used a lot in currencies like day-to-day transactions and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, even when I know you were talking about in our last video and some of the other ones that you've done recently about Venezuela, well, I went and looked into that a lot more, and even though that guy that is the president of Venezuela is a complete douche rocket, governments are trying to figure out people all over and that are involved in government or banks. Some people say they're kind of the same thing. They're trying to figure out ways how to embrace crypto right now because they know that it's the future. And
I just actually read something today that, speaking of Venezuela, is that the government is releasing cryptocurrency education courses. So regardless of the fact of whether
what kind of courses, like what?
I guess just
government crypto or like in general.
I haven't looked into the course, but I would say it's going to be more of a generalized thing because they're trying to promote the petro within the country as being a new factor to consider into the mix that's going on because it's a centralized version of what we're into. I'm going to definitely follow more about the Venezuela situation. I know they're going to be introducing a gold-backed version of the cryptocurrency called the Petro Oro, which ORO is Spanish for gold. And I think it's Iran or Iraq that I just read is going to be doing something very similar. And you had mentioned something about Putin, and I hadn't really had a chance to look into this deeper. So can you tell me about
well, it's he's Vladimir Putin, who there's a lot of people in the United States that love him or hate him. I don't hate him whatsoever. I think overall he's done a great job for Russia, but that's not the point of this conversation. But he's going to also embrace crypto. He doesn't want to be left behind. He doesn't want the Russian people left behind. And they're looking into it. Those are his words, not mine. But in the past, they had talked about doing a gold-backed ruble, which would be a government-created currency. But I think he realized that that's not going to really fly.
Right.
So it's just feelers. I mean, there's nothing concrete. He didn't say, oh, we're going to do this, this, and this moving forward. But they're definitely going to embrace crypto. So I think that's really smart for him, and the Russian people will benefit from it, especially if it's a decentralized one. So we'll see what happens with that. But
I mean, even if these countries introduce a centralized cryptocurrency, I'm not necessarily for that, but it's going to introduce and bring people into the whole ecosystem as a whole. And then once people start seeing, people like me and you talking, and they start realizing that this is just a same version of the paper money, monopoly money they had before, they're going to get more involved in decentralized currencies. So even if somebody gets involved with cryptocurrency because the governments have a centralized version, I think ultimately the smart people are going to realize that the decentralized currency is the way to go and get away from anything that's government related.
It's kind of like the gateway drug. If the government starts legalizing cryptos as legal tender, like I talked about in previous
gateway crypto, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, gateway crypto. Like what I told you last time, if the U.S. wanted to create a Fed coin that I could pay my taxes in, I would totally do that. But that's the only thing I would use it for, because I don't want having this is for the people that are just maybe coming into the sphere right now, but centralized crypto can also be manipulated. So you're basically just changing out fiat for manipulated crypto.
Right.
And I don't want that, and most people don't. The more and more you learn about this, you'll understand that the decentralized cryptocurrencies, the whole purpose for them was to save us from the banking system and truth and honesty on the blockchain. Decentralized blockchain, not centralized blockchain. So you kind of have to pay attention to which government it is and what they're saying about what when it comes to that particular issue.
Right.
And you just got to keep educating yourself in everything and learning about all the different options that you'll have, moving forward with all the different types of cryptocurrencies that exist too. Some of them aren't even currencies, but
they're tokens, they're utility coins. Yeah. They have no purpose except for within a certain system.
Right.
So that's the thing that people need to educate themselves. There's not very many of these cryptos are actually currencies. And I think that we're going to see more of a separation as to what is a currency, what is a token, what is a utility coin, and things to that effect.
I actually think that's coming this year too.
Yeah, no, I believe so too. And that's why, me and you are so bull on Litecoin, because we see the potential as it being used as a currency. And even as it could possibly be a world reserve currency. That's a possibility. So
anything is possible in this life, man. I don't want to get too far out ahead with that, but I don't know if you saw Charlie Lee tweeted. I think it was on Sunday. It was either Saturday or Sunday, but he tweeted in regards to Ethereum will never overtake Bitcoin. But he said that Litecoin would actually take over Bitcoin Cash this year in its market cap. So it's market.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a video on that today, or I talked about that in addition to other things in the video, but Charlie Lee calls it the flappening.
Yeah, the flappening instead of the flippening.
The flippening with the Ethereum and Bitcoin. Yeah. And so, he's saying that Litecoin is going to overtake the market cap of Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, and Charlie is not the type of guy that just has wild boasts.
No, not at all.
That stuff. He's not like that. I mean, if he really believes that for whatever, he has really good reasons to believe it. So
yeah, and also, you got to take in consideration too that the majority of the supply of Bitcoin Cash, I would say, is from the fork. So it was free created coins.
Right.
Whereas if you look at the market cap with Litecoin, these people actually purchased those coins, traded those coins. They didn't receive those coins as a free bonus.
Exactly.
So, it shows its legitimacy. Even right now with where it's at, which I think is like 57% difference, because there's a website called flappening.watch. And it shows all the breakdown, like the 24-hour price, the current price, the 24-hour market cap, the trading volume, the mining, everything. And in every single aspect, Litecoin is like just blowing Bitcoin Cash away. And it goes back to what me and you talked about. When people want to talk about what is the real Bitcoin? Is it Bitcoin? Is it Bitcoin?
There is no coin that is used more than Litecoin. Everybody that knows what they're doing, or at least kind of like a veteran in the market, understands that if you're going to move money around, you're going to move it in Litecoin. You're not going to move it in Bitcoin. You're not going to move it in BCC.
Right.
And the biggest issue with Bitcoin Cash, well, they have two really major big issues. And one of them is the fact that they're never going to scale. And then the second biggest issue for them is the fact that they have Roger Ver at the head, who has really given the whole community a black
bad name
and caused a huge divide. So
yeah,
I understand. Like I've said in the past too, I understand why some people support Bitcoin Cash. I get it. I understand the theories behind it. I'm not here to bash your beliefs or your opinions, but I don't think it was good for any of us that this happened. Even Blockstream or not, Bilderbergers, all that stuff that people are yelling about right now. Sure, but the Lightning Network has to happen. It has to happen. So
if we want the mainstream adoption to happen, the Lightning Network and things like LitePay definitely need to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's never going to be some unbelievable utopian fantasy world for humanity to live in. We're still going to have to deal with certain things that are going to occur for us to move forward. But I'll tell you what, I will take the decentralized crypto system over this fucking Rothschild banking system any day of the week, any day of the month, bar none, hands down.
Right. Now, dude, I'm in agreement. Yeah. We're on the same page, dude.
For sure.
So we talked about LitePay. LitePay launched technically yesterday, the 26th, and you and I both got an email talking about the credit card, and you had basically told me something that I wasn't even putting together. You're such you pay attention to such detail, which is crazy. What were you saying you saw on the website a couple weeks ago that you're not seeing now?
They sent me that email, first of all, and I don't know verbatim what it said, but it was something about the credit card processors are, giving us problems right now. It didn't go as planned. But I kind of figured that was going to happen because when I looked at LitePay's website last week, I noticed that all of the Visa logos were gone.
Right.
No mention of Visa there. I know I saw it before, and I saw it on the pictures. They had the LitePay card, and down in the bottom right-hand corner was the Visa logo.
Right, because a lot of people were comparing it to the BitPay card,
Yeah.
because of the Visa logo.
It was like it was never there. It was all gone. So they had issues. The Visa pulled out for whatever reasons. And I understand why they would pull out because it's their death march. So why they even initially agreed to sign on to this or were in talks to do this is asinine to me.
Well, like I was telling you, man, I mean, it could just be that they knew they were going to pull out and they wanted to mess up their launch.
That's possible.
It is.
That's really petty and stupid.
It is, but what Jamie Dimon did was pretty petty and stupid too. So,
Did you say Jamie Dimon first?
I was about to go.
Correct name. Demon.
Yeah. I watched a little bit too much of Jeff Berwick and Dollar Vigilante.
Oh, well, when he talks about the banks, I just
talks about the pentagram and Jamie Dimon. Yeah. But not to get off subject, but yeah, it's crazy, man. And I don't think the Wavecrest company, which originally was the company that BitPay and a couple other cryptocurrencies cards were under, They lost their contract with Visa, but from what I understood, it was because they had something to do with not keeping their contract terms, and Visa terminated the contract. But
Did it ever say what terms were not kept? Just out of curiosity.
No, and I don't think it had anything to do with those companies like BitPay and the cryptocurrency related companies. So, but at the same time, we know that they're trying to stop purchases of cryptocurrency using credit cards. So it's possible that the credit card companies are trying to work against cryptocurrencies, but you're going to see
but people get a little crazy, conspiracy crazy with all that, because they're still allowing you to do debit purchases. They're just
banks, right?
They're not allowing you to rack up and go max out on 3-4 different credit cards buying crypto, and then the market tanks because it's extremely volatile. And then all these people, maxed out credit cards and are screwing them and not paying them back. So
I think they'll come up with a solution, man. I think they'll have a solution really soon. Honestly, I don't know what the solution would be, but it's going to happen very soon. From what I understand with LitePay is that the merchant end is still a go, and they're working on that. It's just a matter of acquiring a company to use for a credit card service.
Weren't you saying something about Mastercard?
Yeah. See, now I've heard, and I've got to look a little bit more into this, but Mastercard, from what I understand, is one of the major funders and backing of the Lightning Network. Now, I'm not saying that this is 100% factual information because I have not researched it. It does make kind of sense. Mastercard is part of the Ethereum Alliance, the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, which is the largest conglomerate in the world, and it includes like Microsoft and Bank of America and JP Morgan, ironically, and a lot of other companies that are pro Ethereum, and because of the smart contracts and things like that. So, I don't know. It's when you just think about this stuff, man. It's just crazy,
Yeah. I just want to say one last thing, like that. It'll crush Visa. It'll crush them. I just don't understand why. Maybe you're right, because if LitePay is charging merchants, which I run a restaurant, they charge me 2.5 to 3.5% per transaction made every time I swipe the credit card on the POS system, and then they charge a percentage of overall sales monthly.
Right.
So LitePay is 1% flat fee every transaction.
If these corporations could have a way to cut out credit card transaction fees like you're talking about, they would do it. So they need.
I know we would do it if we were only charge 1% on every transaction. That's it, a flat fee, which is what LitePay is. Like that would save my restaurant thousands and thousands and thousands of.
Well, if it's going to save your restaurant thousands of dollars, imagine how much it's going to save the big companies.
Precisely, but that's why
it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like LitePay is going to happen, and the Lightning Network is going to happen.
I brought this up to our IT guy and corporate. I forgot to tell you this prior to the video, but I was starting this. But I brought this up. I believe I brought it up on yesterday. And we talked on the phone. I said, dude, look into this. And he was all for it, until I told him it was cryptocurrencies. So it was Litecoin. He wasn't comprehending the fact that it was going to change Litecoin, which is a cryptocurrency, into fiat, and merchants were accepting fiat. There was a barrier there. And then the first thing that comes out of his mouth when he found out it was crypto was, well, I don't trust them crypto things. So there's still that barrier that we have not broken through yet with a lot of the older generations of people, but the guys that are running these big, and our company's pretty big. So
but how many companies didn't want to accept like Apple Pay or Android?
Yeah, but that's
that are embracing it.
You got to keep pushing this stuff. You got to get these people to understand what it is. They have a lot of preconceived bad ideas about what crypto is because of all the bad information that's been spread out there.
Well,
on purpose. This was on purpose. There's still a full-on underneath assault on cryptos from the banking system. Now, these guys that are out on the forefront right now, they're all kind of playing kumbaya, talking good things. Yeah, I mean, they see the writing on the wall. But the vast majority of the banksters don't want this. And they're going to fight tooth and nail, dude, because this is their death. This is the end of them and the end of their power and control over financial markets like they've had free reign over for so long now and caused so much chaos and damage all over the world.
Those are such beautiful words.
Thank you, sir.
I love those words. Will you say it all again? No, you don't have to. But it sounded so good, man. It sounded so great.
So, they're in their death roll, man, and it feels real good. I can't lie. This is the happiest I've been since I was 17 when I first picked up The Creature of Jekyll Island, dude. So
I still need to get that book and read it, man.
Yeah, it's a really good book.
This summer, I'm only taking like 2 classes, so I'm not going to be nearly as busy. So I plan on doing some reading, and that was one of the books I was going to pick up and dive into. I've heard a lot of really good things about that book.
It's a great book, man. It was the first one for me that really opened my eyes up. That and the author Jim Marrs wrote a bunch of books on all the Nazis in World War II and Operation Paperclip and how the Russians and the U.S. were fighting over trying to drag them to their nations to build up their military programs and all that other stuff, which is all true. It's all true.
Right.
But it goes on who the bankers were that funded and supplied and got Hitler into power and turned the country that was wheelbarrowing marks down the street to buy loaves of bread into a full-on military machine. That doesn't happen without help.
No, I feel you, man.
Gave them the money, and they weren't even German bankers. So,
yeah, no, it's just like the Game of Thrones thing with the Iron Bank, man. It's central banks rule it all, and war pays for it. It's I don't even want to get into that kind of stuff, man.
I know, but yeah, we don't have to get into that because we could do a video on, dude. I could do a video with you on that for 6 hours straight, man.
And I definitely want to do some things that where we're not talking about cryptocurrency and talk about certain specific subjects that where we want to just dive into. I think it's a good idea to kind of get into some of those subjects. I'm not saying like conspiracy theory stuff, but actual history and talk about like. I want to do an interview with somebody who, if I'm able to score the interview, then I'll obviously talk about it. But it's somebody who can give like a really good economic viewpoint of all of finances that are going on in the world and every type of system, and why that person thinks that we're about to see a collapse, not only in the United States, but globally, which would give the opportunity.
Go on YouTube and listen to Jim Willie. I mean, he is hilarious. He just shreds these guys, and he's really smart. He's a brilliant, brilliant guy.
Jim Willie?
Yeah, JimWillie. Jim Willie.
Okay.
He is pretty funny. I used to listen when I used to drive an hour to go to work before I got moved closer to home. I used to listen to him every morning, or I'd try to every morning in my car. So.
Hey, now before we wrap things up, I want to talk about your lady crush. I want to talk about
what?
Your lady crush.
Oh, Heidi?
Yeah, because we were talking about her on our last show, and we reached out to her. You commented on a video, and I reached out to her, and it looks like we're going to be able to do something together. It may not be like super soon because she.
Yeah, I talked to her a little bit, and she just said that she's super busy, and there might be something down the road that we can all do, which I'm totally cool with. That'd be awesome. So,
well, see, that's the cool thing, man. This shows you that we can, we can reach out to other YouTubers and others influencers, and try to, work together and have a community, to build a community, to have these resources available to people. And I think it's important. I think it's kind of cool that she responded to both of us, and that we were able to, have like some good interaction. And it looks like, that, like you said, that we'll be able to do something.
Yeah, it would be awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
And I want to say to any YouTuber, man, feel free, man, to reach out to us if you want to do a show with the both of us or either one of us. Like, again, we have our own YouTube channels. He's the Modern Guru. I'm Rice Crypto. If you're watching this on his channel, come check out mine. If you're watching this on my channel, go check out his and hit us both up. And as far as anyone watching these videos, we definitely encourage you to comment because we want interaction from our audience and people that are checking this out. We want to be able to help people answer questions. And if there's something that we're saying that may not be right or that you might know some more full details about, please, comment below and enlighten us and educate us, because that's what a community is going to do, is help one another. We don't want to just help you. We want you to be able to help us in the process of helping you so that we can all help others. I don't know. I sound like a commercial, but it sounded good.
Hey, man, that's all you.
Is there anything that you want to add?
No, we just Bitcoin's up to 10.7 as of the start of this video. I'd like to see it get over 11, and then I think we're going to be in an official bull run. It looks like Cliff's data might be a little off, but he always says there. I think he said there was a give or take 5 days.
10.9.
Is it at 10.9 right now?
10.9 on my Blockfolio, and that's looking at it from.
I want to see 11. I think from what I was looking at the charts earlier today, I want to see 11. If it hits and holds over 11 tonight, then I don't think it's another bear trap then.
Litecoin's going around 219, but I think that all this FUD with LitePay, because there's a lot of people that are trying to diss LitePay because of this launch. I
don't think it was that so much as I think, if you saw the last couple of days, NEO has really gone through the roof.
It has.
I think that people just move money into NEO for whatever reasons, especially with all the problems Ethereum's having right now, which you don't see a lot of that being talked about, but Ethereum has a lot of issues right now.
It does, and that's kind of like if you think about this, Bitcoin and Ethereum are kind of like dinosaur versions. They were the first comers in what they do, but they're not gonna keep up with where they need to be. And so you've got companies like EOS, that are trying to do a similar thing, and NEO that are doing a similar thing. And it seems like they've got better developers or coders and even cooperations with government. So, it's
NEO is one of my favorites.
The flippening is definitely not happening. The flippening is not happening.
NEO is right behind Litecoin for me. I mean, NEO is a beast, dude. That is a kick-ass token and company. And the gas for the NEO wallet is amazing. You're getting quote unquote.
Well, and I mean, there's a limited amount of gas too, and it has to be used for everything in the system. So it has value in and of itself. In just 2 months, just two NEO coins in my Neon wallet, I did a video about how to stake on my channel, stake your NEO coin with the Neon wallet. But in 2 months, it was 0.0357 gas, which was about $1.60. Now that's not a great deal of money, but that was 2 coins.
Yeah, it's only 2 coins. You don't have a huge position in it.
Right, but I was trying to testing it out to see, and I was also trying to prove this to somebody else, because I had $1,000 in a student savings account, like I had told you before, and in that account, I had gained 5 cents interest in 6 months' time. 5 cents off $1,000. What is one NEO coin going for right now?
That doesn't even cover the cost of inflation.
No, I mean, but the NEO coin, the thing's like 120, somewhere around there.
It's in 130 today.
So, I mean, I've got like roughly 250, 260 in that wallet, and I've gotten $1.50 interest in 2 months' time.
Yeah, this is not even a debate anymore. Like,
it's crazy.
If people are leaving their money in checking accounts, they're just morons. Like, you're really a moron. I don't mean to insult people, but you need to look at other.
You're right.
You don't have to put it in crypto. Do something else with it. Just get your money out of the fucking savings accounts and checking.
Precious metals, gold, silver.
Anything, man, silver. I love silver. Silver's so cheap. Silver's so cheap.
Silver's at a great price right now.
Silver should be way above what it is right now. Market price.
Should be.
And, whatever you want to put your money into, fine. But leaving it in a bank, sitting there, collecting cobwebs.
And participating in the fractional banking, which is giving the bank that much more money to be able to play with that they don't even have.
Your money should always be making you more money, not sitting around doing nothing.
Should be making money. It should be making you more money, not the bank.
Yeah.
Not the banks. And that's
You're
all
actually losing money, leaving it in the checking account because the rate of inflation on the US dollar is actually higher than what they pay you every day. So like you're losing money. I don't, if I don't need to explain it anymore, they still don't.
Yeah, no, we need to definitely have like a episode where we talk about economics and things like that.
There we go.
Sure.
I love that. Let's do it.
So yeah, we will. Is there anything that you want to say before we wrap this thing up?
No, it's kind of been an uneventful. I'm sorry I'm not packed with a little more info tonight, guys. Like I said earlier, I've been really busy. I've worked. I'm currently on a stretch of 11 days straight right now. And when I get home after busting butt all day long in the restaurant, I really just want to lay down on the couch and like just veg out, as opposed to diving into all prices and all crypto. So I didn't really have a whole lot to bring today, but I will do better next video. And I just wanted to make sure we did this, Chris, so we can kind of keep this like a weekly thing. Let's be consistent.
Consistency is key, man.
Yeah, we didn't have a ton, but you're going to have that sometimes. We'll definitely have a lot of content ready to go for us, everyone, next week. Hopefully we'll have an eventful week. Litecoin will start jumping. Bitcoin may be on the rise right now. I hope so. That looked, like I said, if I see it over 11,000 and it sustains it and holds it, then I believe, my personal opinion only, but I think that this is not another bear trap. So,
we also, because I mean, I know you don't have too much Bitcoin unless you did buy in recently, but there's a fork tomorrow morning, the Bitcoin private
another
fork.
One?
Yeah, but this is actually a really cool concept. This is a co-fork. Okay, this is the ZClassic.
Oh yeah.
And Bitcoin forking together into one coin, and the whole development from ZClassic is going to go over to the Bitcoin private, and it's supposed to be, I think, like 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, roughly.
So this is Bitcoin private and ZClassic, right?
Yeah. So if you would own ZClassic, you would get a 1-to-1 ratio, and if you would own Bitcoin, you would get a 1-to-1 ratio. So you could actually double. You could have doubled. Now, what's going to end up happening though? Obviously, since all the development team from ZClassic is not going to be involved, nothing's going to happen with the coin. People are just going to dump that coin. So
I think it's already dumping. Didn't you see its price drop?
Well, the reason why people are thinking that it's dumping, and this is going to sound crazy, but this is the world of politics, is that the developers are probably going to have to pay some of these exchanges to be able to have their coin listed. Because as of now, the only major exchange, and I don't know if you would call them major, but KuCoin or whatever, they're gonna support the fork. So if you have any of your coins on KuCoin at the time of the snapshot of the fork, they'll automatically give you the Bitcoin private. But in order for them to have, like, let's say Bittrex, Poloniex, or Bitfinex, or any of these other HitBTC, in order for them to, it's possible that these companies are going to have to actually pay these exchanges to be able to utilize it. So a lot of people think the price drop was because of the people who own the ZClassic getting rid of it. They weren't taking advantage of the fork, because anybody in their right mind would not sell their ZClassic within 24 hours of a fork where you're getting a free coin.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is the developers selling their coins to pay these exchanges.
Yes.
And it's crazy. That's the world we live in, that these exchanges won't just support what's going on, that you have to pay to have your stuff. But, that's unfortunately the world of business.
This is what it is. But that reminds me, do you see Litecoin Cash's tank?
Yeah, well, I mean, no, I'm not going to say it's over, but it just depends on what happens with exchanges.
Those guys, dude, this is my theory. Those guys did a fork to pump that fucking coin. They just made a ton of money off of it, sold it high, and now it's nothing.
But you really didn't have a way of selling it high. That's the thing. Like, Yobit was one of the few exchanges on the Litecoin Cash site that was listing that.
Yeah, they sold. Those guys sold it, right?
Yeah, but you could never deposit. Okay, but nobody that received it could deposit on Yobit, And then I think the only other site that you could actually exchange on was like Crypto Bridge, which is a decentralized exchange that I'm going to look a little bit more into. But it was trading for like
if
less than
you have less
$1.
exchanges, if you only have one that accepts it, that's even better for you because everyone's going to put it on there when you dump it.
Yeah, well, apparently the people who are having it are holding on to it to see if it goes up in value because I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I think
either
Charlie
way,
proven right again. I think
either way, I mean, it was a possibility of some free money.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, whoever got it and sold it at the top when they could, or if they got it into that exchange.
If you were one of the few that could have gotten that, yeah. I mean, things could change, but that's the name of the game, obviously, in this, man. That's the name of the game. We don't know how these things are going to turn out. A lot of people were not speculating that Bitcoin Gold was going to do anything, and it's still in existence. So you never know what's going to happen, but that's why we encourage people to do their research. The way that I got my coins, I didn't put my Litecoin in any jeopardy, so it didn't hurt me. If anything, it gave me something to do for about 20 freaking hours trying to download all those wallets and update all those blockchains. I don't recommend downloading wallets.
Pillar wallet.
Which one?
Pillar wallet. Did you see Arcane Bear's interview with Pillar CEO?
Yeah, that seems like it's going to be really cool. Pillar, I'm actually going to try to reach out to those guys because they may be looking for people to work in marketing and do sponsoring.
Those guys are super cool too, man. You should do it. If that's really what you want to do, don't like talk about it. Do it.
Yeah, no. I'm talking. That's why I'm mentioning it because I believe in what the Pillar Project's about. I think they got some really cool stuff. Another really cool wallet that people can check out.
It's going to be the best wallet, maybe.
Then there's another good wallet that I encourage people to check out. I can't get it because I've got an Android Galaxy S6, and for some reason this is not compatible. But it's called the Edge wallet, and it used to be Airbits, and it's got Shapeshifter built into it, so you could do cryptocurrency exchange. So it's almost like having a mobile version of what Exodus is, where you can actually exchange your coins within the wallet. So you can essentially, if you had Litecoin and you want Dash, you can just switch them out.
Nice.
And get equal value within the wallet without having to transfer it out and things like that. Now, sometimes you're paying a little bit higher of a fee, but then you're avoiding sending the transaction fees of sending back and forth from an exchange too. So you got to weigh the pros and cons of how it works out. So. But we'll talk more about all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna buy some Pillar. It's super cheap. It's sub $1 right now. So I think that's a ridiculous price for
it. But see, I was wanting to buy some Pillar, but I think they've got 1 or 2 exchanges that you can buy it on.
Yeah, they'll be more closer to launch. They'll get their shit. You can get.
And they're talking about once the wallet's launched, you can buy straight from the Pillar wallet. Is what they're implying. So
it's another thing.
But I'd like to get it right now while the price is down, and I'm not a part of those exchanges or the one exchange that you can get it from. I'm not sure if it's Cryptopia.
I think it is. Cryptopia is the one.
And I've heard mixed things about Cryptopia, man. So I'm not sure. I might get on there just to buy a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can always move it around.
True. So, all right, man. Please, everybody, we thank you for checking out our show. Please like and subscribe to both of our channels. Please comment down below. Liking this video, man, smashing that like helps other people to be able to see this in stream. What's your dog's name again?
Their name is Mia.
Mia.
Yeah, she's ready for bed. She's just letting me know right now it's time for bed, Papa.
She looks tired. Her eyes look like they're watering.
Doesn't she look like Yoda? Look at those ears, dude.
She's definitely a cute dog.
Look at that face.
I can't wait to have my cat back around, man. I'll show you my cat when he's
all right, cool.
In my presence.
All right, well, yeah, everybody, you guys have a great night. We'll see you next week. Everyone fucking hodl. And, good luck in all your adventures.
Yeah, I love you all, man. Peace, love, anarchy, and freedom.
All right, man. Chris,
Later.
have a good night, dude. I'll see you.